Introducing the Recteq Backyard Beast Flow Hundreds.
Hey, my YouTube friends and family. Hey, I'm back with a video today. It's been a minute, so guess what? As you can see from the intro, we got something new to bring y'all today. We got the Recteq Backyard Beast 1200 here. I've been waiting to pull the trigger and purchase this grill to show you what it can do. So, folk, I'm gonna get into going over some of the things that this grill has, some of the little features and whatnot. I'm gonna fire it up for the first time with you. Right here, live. I haven't fired it up yet. I bought it, had them put it together for me from the store, delivered it here. So this is gonna be the first time I fired up. And before we light it, I'm gonna just bring you in closer to show you some stuff about this grill. And when I get my stuff set up, I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm here. I'm gonna hand hold this and bring you around to show you this grill. As you can see, she's a beautiful grill, beautiful, put together well. Here you can see you have a porthole for your probes to go in. Beautiful PDI setup, beautiful Recteq logo. Here on the side, you got a pull handle. The hopper, probably a 30-pound hopper. It's got a latch that you undo to raise the hopper up. As you can see down inside there, beautiful sealed hopper. That's removable, which I like that it's not attached and can move it around. So there's the inside. You can close it up, latch it to keep it secure. Come around the back side. You got a cord wrap, folk. Can keep your cord securely wrapped. As you can see here, no stack, but you have these vent holes that's gonna bring the smoke out the rear of the grill. That smoke will have time to circulate around your meat to impart a little bit more smoke flavor. Back here, I see these little hooks, and I took my grates and hung them back there. It worked great for holding the grates. They'll still touch the ground, but it's somewhere secure to hold them. Come around here to this side, no side shelf, but you have another pull handle. You can see down there, you got your drip bucket. You got a nice, large bottom shelf. Very large, nice bottom shelf. We're gonna pull the lid, look under the hood of this bad boy. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah, beautiful stainless steel. Isn't it pretty, folk? These grates right here, this top grate, it's a split grate. So you can take one half of it out or leave one half of it in. Also, these grates, you can move them out to where you can spritz your food, check your food on the top shelf. Very good distance and clearance from the top shelf to the lid. You can take these all the way out. I'm just gonna sit them here on the front for now, just to show you. And take these all the way out. Yep, large bottom shelf. The Recteq 1200 has a little over 1,200 square inches of cooking space. You can get a lot of food on here, folk, a lot of food. Even the bottom grate lifts up and comes out to where you can hold it, slide out, check your meat, do things to it, slide it back in. Take it on out. I'm gonna take it all the way out, and I'm gonna sit it down here for right now. Sorry about that, folk. This drip pan, very nice drip pan. Seats in here, drive your grease down toward the hole where it'll drip down into your grease drain down in there. See the hole back in there if you can. This comes out, the drip pan, real easy, folks. As you can see, this grill is very easy to disassemble and assemble for cleaning. It's gonna sit it right there for now. Here we got the inside bottom of it. Now this right here is a cast iron heat deflector, folks. And when I say it's got some heft, it's got some heft. It's all cast iron. It is heavy. Now you can see down in there, the 5-part. That's basically it on the inside. But this right here, let me get it sit back in there because I don't want to drop it on my foot. And it locks in nice and securely. But that right there is going to distribute heat amazingly. So now, I'm just going to put it back together. Real quick and easy. Orient this in the right place. Got it there. Get this bottom grate in here. Now I'm doing this one hand and trying to hold my camera. So excuse me from jittering around if I am. That's in there. You can get your top grates in here. That's in there. Get your second top grate in there. That's in there. It also comes with a tool, and I left it over on my deck, but I'll show it to you when I get ready to fire it up to do the initial burn in. But a tool that you can hook onto to pull the grates when the grates are hot, that comes with it. Also, it comes with 2 probes. They're over there too. I'll bring those. 2 probes that you can plug in to monitor your meat through the porthole. But there she is, folks. There she is. The Recteq Backyard Beast 1200. I am so ready to get to cooking on this thing. So, folks, just hold tight and I'm gonna bring you back and we're gonna get this plugged up, get it lit up, start it for the first time and do the initial burn in. So, folks, hold tight. I'll bring you back. All right, folks, I'm back right quick. Here's that hook I was telling you about. This hook here, it came with it. You can hook onto your grate, pull it out when it's hot, use it to push it back in. Just as you pulled it out. Same thing on the bottom grate. Hook it, lift it up, pull it out. So you can check your meat and do whatever. Put it back on there, slide it right back in there, folks. Slide it right back in. So, yep. Now what I'm gonna do, folks, get this loaded up with some pellets. Once I get it loaded up with some pellets, I'll bring it back so we can get this cooking done. Burn in, I'm sorry. So, folks, hold tight. Oh, one more thing, doggone it. I'm all out of source today. Here's the 2 probes. 2 probes right there that it comes with to monitor the temperature, internal temperature of your meat while you cook. So now, folks, I'll bring you back. Hold tight. All right, folks, I'm back. As you can see, I got my pellets of choice sitting right here on the Backyard Beast. Boy, don't they look good together. But those smoking pecan pellets, folks. These pellets right here, I initially started using them about going on 3 years ago now. I bought some and I've been hooked on them ever since. Since then, the Smoking Pecan Company, you know, we work together now, but initially I bought these pellets with my own money and I would have continued to buy them with my own money had they not reached out to me. So these pellets right here are made of 100% natural pecan shells, as you can see. No fillers, no binders, 100% shell, 100% grown, produced, and shipped in the United States. So everything right here about this product and this company is local, homegrown, US. So, folks, these are my pellets of choice and the only pellets I use. So, folks, there'll be a link in the description if you might be interested in these pellets, and a coupon code for 10% off your initial purchase. So, folks, I'm going to get this set up so I can pour these pellets in, and then I'll bring you right back. All right, folks, I'm back. Hey, I got these pellets open. Just want to give you a look at how they look. Beautiful pellet, nice firm pellet, good and firm, not real long. pretty equal in size where you pretty much your grills don't have issue with them. So folk, I'm gonna get my camera set up here. Just bear with me right quick. Uh-oh. This is what happens when you work by yourself. But hey, I wouldn't have it any other way, folk. I wouldn't have it any other way. Get this picked up. Get this opened up. My first pellet's going in, people. My first pellet's going in. There we go. I got those pellets in there, people. And as you can see, I got them loaded up in there nicely. There we go. Got them in there. Now, what it does say on initial burn, to put 1/4 cup of pellets into the fire pot. So, folk, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna open up, take everything back apart. I'm not gonna show you, but I'm gonna put 1/4 cup of pellets into the fire pot before I light it up. So, folk, hold tight. I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I got it all plugged up. I see a red light blinking. Now I'm gonna hit this power button, see what happens. Set point. Says to set it at 400. That's what I'm gonna set it at. I heard the auger start turning. I'm not gonna set up the Wi-Fi today. I just wanted to see about getting it going and get the initial burn in. So that's what I'm doing right now. It's showing, if you can see it, you see my reflection, but that's one thing, the sun is gonna, but I'm recording. But me looking at it, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. So what I'm gonna do, folk, I'm gonna let this go through its process here now that it's on. And then once I start to see a little smoke, after it fires up, I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. Man, the grill, it needed an update. So I did the update. Connecting to the Wi-Fi was simple. I hit one button, which was under the red light that was flashing on. All I did was this button right here, if you can see it, hold on. This button right here, I pushed it, opened the app in my phone, hit the plus button, it acknowledged it, hit, put in my password, connected. No problem. Had a firmware update. I did the firmware update. After I did the firmware update, I had to cut it off. It sort of like reset itself, and after that update, man, 5 minutes, look at the smoke. And you know what? I can only attribute that smoke to those smoking pecan pellets. Yes, indeedy. So we got temperature in there. Right now it's at 96 degrees, if you can see that. It's at 96, 97, steady going up. When she reaches 400, that's when I will start my hour on the initial burn-in. So, folk, I'm gonna let it do its thing, and after that hour, I'll let you know how it went. So, folk, hold tight. I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. Hey, I just want to give a little check-in. As you can see, we sitting right there at 400 degrees. It took about 35 minutes to get to 400. So maybe on the initial burn-in, it took a little longer. We'll see on the next time. But in that time, let's look at how many pellets we've used so far on this initial burn-in. I don't know if you remember seeing, but we've got just a hole like that in the pellet hopper from right here. So that looks pretty good. Level them back out. Still not a lot of pellets used. So, folk, I'm gonna let it continue to run for this hour. Now it's got about 25 minutes, 30 minutes left on this hour. So folk, when I get done, I'll bring you back. All right, folk, I'm back. Hey, as you can see, we completed that hour burn in. I hit the power button and it started this countdown to the shutdown. So folk, I'm gonna let it finish this countdown in the shutdown mode. All I did was hit the power button. If you're on the app, you just hit and hold the power button for 3 seconds. So folk, once this is finished, I'll bring you back to let's take a look inside, see what we got. Hold tight. All right, folk, I'm back. Hey, I figured I'd just bring us back for this countdown on this thing to see what it does once it completes its shutdown mode. As you can see, we're down to 10 seconds. You can hear the fan still blowing. And I'm gonna let it go on down just to see what it does. Let's see. Okay, so now what it looks like it's doing is continuing to run the auger for 30 seconds to just get any potential backburn pellets out of the auger tube before it completely stops. So that's good information to know. Okay, after that, the auger stopped. So hey, let's pop the lid and see what it looks like after the burn in. If we got any ash all over the place. Well, folk, I'm gonna tell you. Minimal ash inside the cooker. She's all burned in now and ready for some meat. So folk, I'm gonna close the lid up and I'm gonna turn this stuff around and we're gonna shut down this video. So folk, hold tight, I'll bring it right back. Well, all right, folk, hey, I'm back. Hey, we got this burn-in done. Grill looks great. No major discoloration on the lid, just where some heat comes up here behind the lid. You can see that. Other than that, everything looks amazing. The grill to me performed outstanding on initial startup. Initially, it needed a firmware update. I did that. I showed you the simplicity of connecting to the internet. Push a little button under the blinking light on the front. And then on the app on your phone, you select your Wi-Fi, you hit connect, put in your password, boom. And I'm about 60 feet away from the router inside my house. Had no connectivity issues. Then it needed a software update. I did the software update, shut it down, restarted it, and the grill, it took about 35 minutes to come up to temp. I don't know if that's, just the grill learning the process and whatnot, but it did. Once it got to 400, it just sat there and rode for an hour. It just sat there, rode just fine, no problem at all. Did that hour. You saw, I showed you where I did the shutdown process. You can either hit the button on the front of the grill, it'll put it in shutdown process, or you can hold on the app, the power button for 3 seconds, and it'll put it in shutdown process. As you can see, it cuts down. It have a countdown time with the fan. After it counts down, then it has another countdown period with the auger to potentially move any burning pellets out of the auger tube that can prevent it from getting into the pellet hopper. So look, all systems go. Seemed like it went well. So next, folk, I can't wait to put some meat on this bad boy to see how it cooks. So folk, if you like what you see, if you like this channel, please hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, comment, share, engage with me. I really appreciate all of you. And links in the description for those smoking pecan pellets if you want to be interested in those. But folk, as I always say, until we meet again, keep on cooking.